Fermented foods such as natto have long been part of everyday life in Japan. Aya's Culture Kitchen, an Arlington-based business founded by Aya Rowe, is introducing these traditional foods to communities across the United States through locally made products, workshops, and other experiences. ACMi news correspondent Lydia Chen spoke with Aya about her company.
Hi, this is Lydia Chen. Today I'm here at Aya's Culture Kitchen, where I will be speaking with Aya Rowe. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for coming today.
And would you like to introduce yourself and tell us about your role at Aya's Culture Kitchen?
My name is Aya Rowe, and I'm the founder of Aya's Culture Kitchen. So at Aya's Culture Kitchen, we make a lot of Japanese fermented food with natto in its heart of the production.
For people who may not familiar with Aya's Culture Kitchen, would you like to introduce more about this company and what mission it serves?
Yes, so Aya's Culture Kitchen is a Japanese fermented food manufacturer company in Arlington, Massachusetts. And we create a small batch Japanese fermented foods that bring tradition, wellness, and nourishment to everyday modern table.
What first made you want to start this business?
I think I want people to try new food because I think for most people, natto is something very unfamiliar. And the texture is very sticky and the smell is very unusual. So I just want them to get surprised, try new food, and see whether they like it or not. Originally, I used to work for MGH. I was doing biology experiments every day. So I was very familiar with sanitation process. Sanitation was the most important thing. So every time I touched non-sanitary things, I had to put alcohol on my gloves to clean it. And that's very important when you handle bacteria so that you won't introduce anything else to food. So it's been very helpful. I just use the same practice I learned in the lab when I make fermented food here. And during COVID, because I had so much free time at home, I was making a lot of fermented food. And I found out that the process of making fermented food was very similar to science experiments. And I found out I was pretty good at it. And I was just making a lot of different kinds of fermented food and decided to make this hobby as my job. Natto bacteria is actually everywhere. It's on like leaves, vegetables, it's everywhere. But in Japan, they sell spores, like in powder form, natto bacteria in powder form or liquid form. So I get them and I bring them back to the United States and I incubate our soybeans. But those natto bacteria is everywhere, so you can also make your own natto by using natto. Yeah, so they also has a lot of bacteria in it. Natto bacteria is very strong. Even if you boil it for half an hour, they don't die.
Oh, wow.
Fermentation is tricky. It looks easy, but there are so many conditions associated with it. So for example, like the temperature of the room and how long you soak the beans before you make natto, and at what temperature and for how long you ferment it. There's so many variables, and you have to master each of the steps.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been interesting work for me, especially microorganisms. They're like little pets to us. And all of our staff are scientists. They're formerly trained in science background. We do our best creating the healthiest environment for bacteria to grow, and that's our priority because we want good bacteria to grow on food, and we can see it very visibly in our fermentation results.
So it's definitely precision, more of intuition?
You know, I think it's both. Precision,
Okay.
Yeah, but precision is very important. I record everything.
You record everything?
Yeah.
Aya's Culture Kitchen is known for natto. Why did you choose natto as your primary product?
Yes. So I came to the United States when I was 10, and before that, I grew up in Japan. In Japan, like natto is like a very ordinary breakfast item. People just put it over rice and eat it for breakfast. It's just very everyday common food.
Is there why it's for breakfast? Is there more healthy or?
I think So in Japan, I think there was some period of time when people didn't really eat meat, or maybe in some regions of Japan, people didn't eat meat because of Buddhism practice. And I think natto and the other soy proteins provided really important nutrition to your food. So maybe people ate it in the morning to get your body, ready for like farm work or work of the day.
It's only for breakfast?
It's mostly for breakfast, but people also, make natto pasta or like natto dipping sauce, things like that, and enjoy it in other meals as well. So you can just like eat it every day. Very fresh natto. It's very easy to get them from supermarket, super cheap. But after I came to the United States, I couldn't find fresh natto anywhere. Most natto you can get from the store are frozen and they're imported from Japan. And the texture was very different from what I knew. And there was like not so many companies that were making natto. There's one company in Western Massachusetts that's making natto for past 50 years. But in Massachusetts, I don't know any other companies that's doing it. So I just decided to create it.
I learned that your company work also include other products. Would you like to give us an introduction of each of them as well?
Sure, yeah. So we make a lot of things. We make amazake, which is sweet rice fermented drink. We also make miso, which is used for making miso soup. And we also make a Korean spicy sauce called gochujang, and it's really yummy. We also make a freeze-dried natto. It's just a freeze-dried version of our natto, and people eat it as snack or like sprinkle it over salad. And freeze-dried natto powder, because some people want to eat natto for its nutritional content, but many people are reluctant of eating natto because of its texture and smell. And we removed those two difficult elements. And created natto powder. Natto powder is much easier to incorporate in your everyday food and like smoothies or protein drinks, and it's just easier to eat, which is not very sticky or stinky. And also it's easier to ship because there are not many cold shipping options in the United States. In Japan, there are many cheap cold shipping options, but here it's very limited and expensive. So, but if it's freeze-dried, it can be shipped at room temperature to anywhere in the United States. So I want people to know more about it.
If we drink the powder, how many would you recommend for each day?
For each day, I would say like maybe start with 1 teaspoon and gradually increase to maybe like 1 tablespoon, because your gut needs to get used to natto bacteria. So if you start it from like a lot of big amount, from the beginning, you might have some digestive problem.
When choosing these other products, how do you describe which one to make and share?
Each fermented food has different nutritions. The natto's main nutrition is probiotics and vitamin K2, which is very good for your bone health. And one of my customers, he broke his bone like last year, and he was eating natto every other day. And after a few months, his doctor told him that he had never seen anyone whose bones grows this fast.
Wow.
So natto is very beneficial in many ways. Amazake has different kinds of minerals and vitamins, and miso does as well. So we just try to offer many different kinds of fermented food to create the world more healthy place through healthy food from my culture, Japanese culture.
Do you also provide those products for local restaurants, or you only sell it to the individuals?
We do. We have a wholesale license, so we do source our products to local restaurants or supermarkets. For example, Cambridge Natural, and the other one is the Mushroom Shop in Somerville, and Pemberton in Cambridge as well. Pagu in Cambridge. Chef Tracy Chang did omakase course dinner last year, and she used our freeze-dried natto, and she told us that the customers were surprised by the unfamiliar flavor.
I learned that your product were also featured on Japan's national television. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
So it was featured last year in Japan's national television, and this year as well, there was one TV production company from Japan came to the United States, came to Boston, and followed me with camera for like 4 days, which was very new experience for me. But I think this shows that there are not many Japanese people making natto outside of Japan. And I think one of the reasons is because many Japanese people think that non-Japanese people eat natto, but I think that's wrong.
A lot of people here eat natto, right?
Actually, yes. So surprisingly, when I started my natto business, I was told that most of my customers would be Japanese people, like 99%. But what I'm seeing right now is that gradually a lot of like non-Japanese people, 30-40% of customers are non-Japanese people are getting natto and eating them as their everyday food.
Do you feel food can be a bridge between cultures in some ways that conversation alone cannot?
I think so, yeah. And especially natto, because of its impactful visual, it's very sticky and stringy. It can be seen in a lot of social media, like TikTok or like Instagram. And when I talk about natto or when I sell natto at farmers markets, a lot of people say, I've heard of this, but I've never tried it before. So that sort of like sparks up the conversation, and I start talking about the nutritional benefits and stuff as well. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and when I saw the episode on the Japan's national television, I saw Lizzo.
Oh, yeah.
There. She tried the natto and she loves natto. So I learned that you also host experience like supper club gathering, miso making, fermentation workshops. So what made you want to develop those experiences as part of Aya's Culture Kitchen? And what do you hope people take away from those different kind of activities?
Yeah, I like hosting activities because I used to own tutoring company, and there I used to teach little kids how to speak English or how to finish their homework and stuff. But I just like interacting with people in general. And also I want people to think that fermentation is not a scary thing, but it's something you can do at home. And if you think about it, it's existing very long time, and it's been a very good preserving method. So, for example, natto, once it's fermented, it lasts for like 6 weeks or so. Miso is really long lasting as well. It lasts for years. It has like living bacteria in it. So at room temperature, they age much faster. But if you put it in the fridge, the bacteria in miso slow down a little bit, so they age a little slower. So I think it's like cheese or wine. They mature over time. It's something like that. So there are very good ways to preserve food product, and I don't want people to get scared. So I want them to learn that it's something you can do at home.
Who usually comes to those events to learn about making miso or like fermentations?
A lot of people. So increasingly, I've been getting people in food industry, like chefs or people who own restaurants. They just want to understand fermentation process more.
How do those in-person experiences allow you to share things that the packaged products usually cannot?
When you see packaged food, you don't know what's going on behind it, right? But once you participate in hands-on miso making class, there are so many little steps that are important for making really good fermented food. For example, we tell customers how to choose good soybeans and for how long it should be soaked. And after soaking, there is like a step to check whether the soybeans are properly soaked. There are so many little steps like that. And if you just buy product, you cannot see all those little steps. So I'm sure people start appreciating the food they eat more once they make their own food. I think that's the biggest takeaway.
So how long is the workshop?
Workshop is like 90 minutes to 2 hours. People have to ferment miso at room temperature in their house for like 2 or 3 months to be able to eat the miso.
Is there any upcoming events that you would like the viewers to know about?
So we don't have workshops, but we will be at Fermentation Festival in Somerville. This event? Yes. This started last year, and I was there as a vendor. It was overwhelmingly popular, and everything was completely sold out within first hour.
Wow.
Yeah, and many other vendors experience the same thing. So a lot of people who are interested in fermented food will be there at the same time. It's very, it's great event. There are some like educational talk sessions by fermentation experts and a lot of vendors. You can also get some food that they can eat at the venue, and it's just really fun event.
Why did you choose to build this company here in Arlington?
I own a condo in Arlington, so I used to live around here. And when I started natto business, I tried to go to like a shared kitchen spaces. Individuals have like different companies and stuff, but many shared kitchens were not comfortable with me handling natto bacteria, because natto bacteria is so strong and it could contaminate other people's food. For example, a pastry sticky. If they get into somebody else's pastry and stuff. In Arlington, I'm not allowed to make fermented food at home and sell it because of Board of Health regulation. So I had to have a commercial kitchen. So one day I just went for a run in the morning with my husband. And then I found this empty space right here. We just like talked to the building owner who happened to be in the next building. And he said we can start using this space. That's how we found this space.
What has the response been like from the local customers and the greater Boston community?
I think some people who know natto very love it. Love the fact that they can get fresh natto locally. Boston has a lot of universities and hospitals and research institutions. A lot of people know about natto from like reading scientific articles or I don't know how they find out natto, but maybe some people have been to Japan, things like that. And they know about natto bacteria as well and how they can be beneficial to you. So it's been a great location for our business.
So what does Arlington community mean to you?
I think it's a very great community. People are very warm. And I know other small businesses in Arlington, but we just help each other, and I love this place.
Looking ahead, what do you hope Aya's Culture Kitchen will grow into the over 5 to 10 years?
We want natto to be a food like tofu. So right now, if you go to supermarket, you can find tofu anywhere, right? And you can just buy them very easily. But if you go to supermarket and you try to find natto, it's very hard in local supermarket. So I want natto to become like tofu, more accessible, healthy food for everyone.
Is there anything else you would like to share with the viewers about Aya's Culture Kitchen?
Well, we have a farm stand that's honor system based, and it's open 24 hours. People can just come in and grab a few things from the fridge, pay us via Venmo or cash, and they can enjoy fermented food. And the door needs a code in order to get in, but the code is written on the door because we trust people. So anyone is welcome to stop by anytime.
Thank you so much for joining me today and for spending your time to speaking with me. And my name is Lydia Chen, and thank you so much for watching.
You can find Aya's Culture Kitchen at the upcoming Somerville Fermentation Festival on Sunday, August 16th, or visit its shop at 75 Dudley Street in Arlington. For more information about its products, retail locations, and upcoming events, visit the Aya's Culture Kitchen website, ayasculture.com.